Started. Who are you and what do you do? Hello. So, this is another one of our rambles with lovely clients and lovely partners. And a very lovely client is Rhian. and
Wow.
and
Well,
also Stephen.
it's just going to be the shortest podcast ever,
Hello. Hello.
Just talking to yourself for half an hour.
That's like me in the office. Sorry, this morning I was literally doing that, having a conversation with the whiteboard. I thought Lana was with me, and she just walked out. I then come back in with a coffee, going, what? That's like, oh God. Anyway, hello, who are you and what do you do? That's a nice way of starting it, isn't it?
It's lovely. I better go to Rhian.
You should. I'm the star of the show, so you should.
Star of the show. Yeah.
I'm Rhian. I'm the star of the show. I'm a Pisces, and I am the holiday sales and revenue manager.
A Ladies Mile, of course.
A Ladies Mile, of course, and Oak Cliff.
And who's that young man next to you?
There's another person here. I'm Stephen. I'm the general manager at Ladies Mile and Oak Cliff Holiday Park.
And these guys are a lovely client of ours. And as you can tell, I'm so professional. Straight on it. So one of the things we're doing as part of our kind of rambles is we're chatting to clients as well as we're chatting to partners. And actually, why I kind of nicely knocked you guys up and why you've kindly kind of agreed to get involved is kind of you guys are quite forward thinking in everything you do, really, to be honest. You were one of our earliest clients for which we are forever grateful. And you really push us, and we've done a lot of stuff with you guys, and hopefully a lot more. So one of the things I'm really interested in is getting the park's perspective on everything, on tech, on the hospitality sector in general, and all that, the kind of all things in between, and with the advent of AI coming along and all the guest behaviour stuff and that. But one thing I really kind of want to just get stuck into straight away, really, is the kind of the future of a holiday park. And what a holiday park of the future could look like. Because I've been to wider hospitality events, and you get these hotels saying this is what Marriott's going to be like in a few years' time. This is what Hotel Duvan's going to be like, and you get these. But I've never heard a holiday park go, this is what we think we're going to be like in a few years' time. And my guess is you guys are already looking at that and thinking that. So from both of your perspectives, doesn't have to agree. You don't have to agree. But what do you think the holiday park for the future is going to look like? What needs to happen that's not happening now?
I think, from my point of view, I think it will be like a smart, personalised leisure resort. Something I put down there. So the winners will be the ones that look after technology to enhance relaxation, but not to make it feel wrong for the client.
The relaxation thing's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, make it easier. I think it's that journey that's easier for people.
Yeah.
When we were discussing this earlier, you were like, what about the people side of it?
Yeah, so for me, like, it is definitely going that way. That's the way the world's going. And I think you need to be keeping up with that. But from a customer point of view, I'm very customer facing. And if someone was to complain, I know, for example, if I'm annoyed at a product that I've got and I've received it and it's broken and I've got to chat to a chat bot,
it
winds me up more.
Yeah.
And that for me is not a good customer journey. I think you're never ever going to be able to eliminate people. I think it can enhance and it can absolutely make things better. But there are certain scenarios and certain situations where I think the use of AI is not useful. For example, a complaint. If I had to chat to a bot before I got to a person, I would be extra wound up than I am just was.
Yeah. It winds you up even more, right?
Absolutely, especially if you've got a complaint about something.
It
would wind me up. But like, of course, there are other things where it can progress and it can make it so much better from a customer experience. But in certain situations, it wouldn't work.
The experience word, I'm fascinated by the experience word, right? It gets banded around, doesn't it? Guest experience.
Yeah.
We use it, right? experience it. And I've always felt that it's not clicking a few buttons on a website is not an experience, right? It's getting something done.
Mhm.
An experience is when you're on the park or when
Mhm.
you're driving to the park, right? Or you're being entertained by the team at the park. And how do you think that we'll come back to that. I want to pick something up on that complaints thing. But how do you think technology can create like on park experiences that are maybe slightly different to what we were talking before we turned the
We were
record.
sort of,
You gave
yeah,
me a great example. Yeah.
oh no, we were talking about how that would look on a customer sort of journey
Mm.
from before they arrive, and I don't know, digitally sending sat nav information to the car. The car then will probably drive itself by that time.
Yeah.
Arrives at the destination, then you've got reception, and we were sort of talking about the fact that we think, or I think, that reception will be a little bit like the Sainsbury's checkouts. So where you've got options.
Yeah.
I don't think it will go full in to being
No.
fully digitalized, because I think that won't give that personalized experience.
Yeah.
But where you've got Sainsbury's checkout, you've got your full barcode. You take a little barcode round and literally no interaction with people. Then you've got your ones which is self checkouts, which is a bit of interaction with people, so you can pick and choose. And then you've got your full till system, which people still want to use. And I genuinely think that reception will be a bit like that, in there that you could check in automatically if you want to, or maybe not even come to reception. Literally everything is done beforehand. Then you've got maybe doing a bit in reception where you might self check in on there, get your keys from there, etc., etc. And then you've still got a number of receptionists that were able to help, because as you said, I don't think you can get away from the personalised part of the holiday.
And that's part of the guest experience, because they are then making a conscious decision to what they would like to do.
Yeah.
Not being forced into anything. It's, do I want to speak to someone today? Yeah, we'll go in, it's fine, we're on holiday. Or no, I can't be bothered, we've had a long journey, let's just, check in ourselves. And it gives them the option to do that.
Yeah.
But even just like smaller things, like you could have, like AI can pick up on so much information that a customer gives you. So, you could personalize it to them. Say, like a couple's going to be looking for something different than what a family's going to be looking for. Personalize it to that. Oh, for the couple, here's what to do in the area. Here's some beach walks. Here's some pubs. With a family, here are our kids' activities. Here's the daytime activities, and you can personalize it that way.
Couldn't agree more. I think you will come in and there'll be a concierge type thing within each of the accommodation units.
And I think that's going to come before anything else. That is something that could potentially be done now.
Have you been reading our roadmap?
Another bloody roadmap.
God, that's all I hear when you speak. Anyway,
roadmaps is stuff that never actually exists.
No, you're right. No, we've kind of done that.
Yeah.
So you undoubtedly, you and one or two other clients will be the first to suffer. I mean, test it. But you're right. That's exactly what I've been thinking as well. Is there's different layers to it, right? There's the one-to-one, and that sounds fantastic. And I think a lot of people will be happy with that. They'll go, yeah, okay. Excuse me. Here's my phone. I will let all these apps on my phone, Spotify, Google Maps, whatever, know what I'm doing, where I'm at. Lady Smile app, yep, I'll let that, because I'm going there, I'll let them.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be very personalised stuff. Some people go, no, I don't want to share anything. I'd rather kind of be proactive rather than reactive and stuff. So I think there's going to be a really fine balance between the two.
But again, it gives them the option, doesn't it?
Options, yeah. You've got a choice. What do you want to do? How do you want to do it?
And you can make it really clever to a point that you can even, when you put your reference in the app or when you sign up to the app, you can do it of, what are your interests?
Yeah. Again, we've got that. We need to. By the way, you're going to be getting that soon. You're getting that. And you can get a Rhian discount just for that, because you've already.
Substantial discount.
Not that much of a discount. but you're right. It's that. I wonder if human interaction, maybe not necessarily in holiday parks, is going to become a premium service. If you want to speak to someone with a bank, you need to have a certain balance in your account, a wealth management kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Rather than go to the queue and
Wouldn't it be led by? I mean, if you think about those shop checkouts and things like that, and even banks these days, banks is a good example, isn't it? People that are tech savvy will be more than happy to work off their phones, and there's a lot of they give a lot of incentives to people to work off their phones and work off and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Yet you're going to have typically non-tech savvy, which is probably going to be the older generation, that are going to want to. Otherwise, you're ignoring that segment of the market. So I don't necessarily think it'll be how much money you've got or a premium service. I think it's more of a choice. You might have to pay more for it. But I think the non-tech savvy would be happy with doing that, but it would be in a different way. It'd probably be more discount for not doing it rather than a premium paid, I would have thought. I don't know. That's how I think.
No, I think that's a really good point. I think it's really interesting. I think of my mum, 82, and she uses the internet still, but
that's good.
When she goes on holiday, she still goes on holiday. She'd never download the app at the hotel. Do you know what I mean? She would be
my sort of father-in-law, if you like. He loses his mind straight away when any sort of app's concerned, and he goes from literally calm as you like to off the scale livid if he can't get something to work within seconds. So,
my dad would be the same. My dad wouldn't even attempt to download, and that's where you still need the human side of things.
The accommodation, that's good. That Sainsbury's, that's a really good analogy. That is really, really good, because you're right.
That from AI.
You're right. It is choice.
It is, but you can see that develop over time. If you've noticed in Sainsbury, absolutely. There used to be one or two. Then it became sort of like 8 or 10 in a supermarket. Then you've got the ones that you can just bring your barcode. They're getting bigger now. And it only requires a couple of members. And literally going over to Sainsbury's over the road, there's probably only about 3 aisles you can go down now to have a human at the end of it.
Yeah, I've got it on my phone. I go in and scan everything via my phone.
And you get discounts for doing so. Not premium, it's the other way around. You get the discounts for doing it that way. I think it'll be that way. But I also think we were looking at other stuff as well. I think smarter accommodation, that'll come into it. So smart heating, lighting, locks, energy, everything like that. It's nearly there. We've nearly got it on here. But that side of things should be more seamless. So it knows when people are leaving. So it turns the electric off. I know it's possible to do that now, but
hotels, it's not. No. Yeah, hotels will do it. When you take that key card out, that's it. Everything's off. And
but we also look at. I don't know. My brain went mad when I was thinking about it. It's like we all use dynamic pricing for pricing our holidays. It's quite normal in the industry. Could there possibly be dynamic pricing introduced for your food and beverage? So at different times of the day, different times. I mean, there sort of is sometimes you can do that in restaurants at the moment, isn't there? There's a lunchtime menu and then an evening menu, which tends to be more. But I'm actually thinking it changes as it goes through the day. So you've got points that are more expensive at peak times over non-peak times and things like that. That could happen, or activities on the park being more expensive during certain times. Again, that happens.
You've touched on something there, which you elegantly led me into one of my other questions when you talked about personalisation. There was a lot of conversation in tech and travel tech to an extent as well around very individual price points for individuals. So if you're staying in a certain accommodation on the park, the assumption in tech terms is that you've got a certain level of personal income and wealth. So a pint might be a fiver for me, but it might be £6.50 for them. Do you see what I mean? So
your friend goes up and pays for it.
But there is that level of it can be done. It can be done. The data's there that we get it anyway. We already. I worked on a project long before Holidaymaker came along. We were looking at prices for airlines, and it was an absolute unsaid understanding that EasyJet price, depending on who was looking, me and you could look at the same flight, we see two different prices, and we'd visited the same websites before. But
Yeah.
EasyJet knew because of the cookies and the tracking. Oh, Stephen's bought something from, I don't know, All Saints, and Dave's bought something from Primark. We're going to show Stephen a slightly higher price. So,
Yes.
you know, is that part of the holiday? I mean, every holiday park will go, oh, no, 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 we're not going to do that. But if you actually think, people pay different prices for accommodation, whether they book direct or kind of go for a third party.
I think people will do through experience.
Do you think so?
I think the experience, people will pay differently for that, how that looks, but not, I don't know actually about charging people just because of their sort of like socioeconomic where they live or what they live in. That scares me a little bit. So but
I worry that that's an inevitability. I mean, I'm not just picking on the park sector, but I think that's what we're going to see. I just think we're going to see different
As
prices.
a person who deals with complaints, I'd really like that not to be a thing.
We've got a park group where they do not use OTAs because, and the simple reason is the owner says, I don't want two people sitting next to each other on their deck. One says, I paid this, one says, I paid that.
It does happen.
And there's just that clap straight away. They're like, the trust in one of them might go up, but the trust in the other one's gone right through the floor, wherever they've got it from. So he's like, I can't have that.
That's the same, isn't it, for airlines, hotel bookings, anywhere you go now. It depends on how far you book in advance. We've always tried to tailor ours so people that book in advance get a better price than the people booking last minute. That has been a thing, and I think that's a problem with the OTAs actually.
It's fine that once you explain to them and they understand in the first moment, they're not happy about it, because we do get that. You know, my sister-in-law came in yesterday and she paid X amount of money and the price has changed today, and overnight 3 of these accommodations have been booked, and that's what it is. Once you explain that, they do sort of get it, but it does rile people up. I couldn't imagine that happening in the bar, and
well, we got
after those 7 pints at £5, the 8th one goes up to £6.50.
Well, after 7 pints, it doesn't matter. You won't remember anyway. You said something there, both of you, about last-minute bookings. Are you seeing a slightly digression? But one thing I've picked up on recently is some of our clients they've seen last-minute bookings go up. I mean, I know we're in the middle of an economic shit.
I think the problem,
but
is we've taken out. This is where I believe it. This is going back 7 or 8 years, and a certain OTA had the whole thing around last minute bookings, and they were discounting their last minute bookings and then seeing an increase, and then it became more and more, and there was a massive big thing. But on part level, I wasn't seeing the same thing happen because I hadn't discounted my last minute bookings as much. I discounted the early ones, so my actual bookings early were much stronger than their ones, and then they were picking up towards the end. So it's self. What's the word? They made it happen themselves.
Yeah. Okay. They're creating that themselves.
They're creating the environment for the customer, because the customer will go to that OTA and go, well, if I wait until 2 weeks out, I know I'll get a space and I'll get it a hell of a lot cheaper.
We don't do flash sales.
No,
it's a categoric no, because for that reason we have a lot of return customers. We have a lot of people that book in advance to get the best price, and as a business we want to honour that. But by chucking a 30, 40, 50% off just because we're not full for a weekend, that's not what we're about.
Sometimes long term it's better to take that on the chin.
It's right, just just
go, and it's not all. It's a difficult one, isn't it? If you've got your people that are the banks or your owners or whatever that are looking at that, but to actually take it on the chin is actually not a bad thing sometimes, because then you're not going to discount that holiday down for next year, etc.
Reputation, we see it in software. We've got a price point, incredibly good value, but it'd be really easy for us to go, okay, we're just going to because of the economy at the moment and AI, this tsunami of AI coming towards us, it'd be quite easy. But actually, you've got to have confidence in your product, right? Whatever that product is, right? And you've got to believe in it, because once you stop believing in it, you're kind of buggered a little bit.
That's the thing. Historically, for us, the data is there that's how people book with us.
Yeah.
So regardless of what the area is trending and everything else will depend on, like we said, what the park is offering. For us, the data is historically there. People book in advance and they get the best price, and we're trusted by them because of that.
Yeah, completely. So the personalisation, so you're kind of saying,
I was just thinking about that.
yeah. So you're kind of So you're kind of seeing part of the kind of, you use the word result as well. That's an interesting word. I agree. I think the term, especially with you guys, but I think the term result, as far as holiday parks are concerned, is a much more accurate description of most of our clients. Definitely, there's so much things to do.
I think you've got a risk with personalisation, and the risk being that if you personalise it down and down, your recommended personalised things to do will be getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Yeah. And therefore, if you want to do this thing that's on holiday that's completely out the box, it won't even be recommended for you. It's a risk.
I agree with that.
People knowing you, it gets a bit boring, isn't it? It's like, same old.
I get that conversation. I have that conversation quite a lot, because I don't know about you guys, but whenever we go away, we turn our maps off on our phone and we just walk around the city. We were in Madrid, a couple of months ago, and we just walked around.
Yeah.
Where we were going, there's a little cafe down there, we're going there, kind of stuff. It's one of the things why we kind of go, you can have all these segments in our product. We have 16, we go, that don't have 16. Because people will miss out on stuff that might be off the cuff. Well, they might see something, they go, oh, okay, that's for like a family, but actually that archery looks good fun. I think I'm going to...
And on holiday, it's one of those times that you probably would go and do it.
Yeah.
All but certainly would go and try something that you wouldn't normally do.
It's my worry with technology. One of my worries with technology is you lose the spontaneity.
Yeah.
But then isn't that based on the parameters that you would set with AI anyway? You can do personalizations, but you can do I want everyone to see this.
Yeah.
You've got to be careful about it. I think it's a good idea.
We can also add some personalization in as well. Like there could be a balance.
Depends who's in control.
Yeah.
It depends if it's us as individuals controlling what we do, or it's Google and OpenAI and yeah. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Hanging on that.
Talking about, before we came on, I think you alluded to it, the fact that we were talking about entertainment and stuff like that. Yeah. The different things on that side we were sort of like, so we were discussing sort of like us, we've been to Abba Voyage, and that's a hologram on stage, and people pay very good money to go and watch a hologram on stage. And then thinking of the sort of like the multiple and the bigger groups out there, that they could get away with potentially having one amazing entertainment team on their top part, and then that show is then a hologram on the other parks, leaving those other parks to just have I don't know, your children entertainer, your quiz show host. So again, you move down from having maybe 6, 7 in a team to down to maybe 3 to do that sort of thing. And it would be, at first it'd be novel. Don't know if it's got the longevity, but it'd certainly be interesting.
Things become the norm really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You think of how quickly, really, it is really quickly. 15 years, 16 years, mobile phones have become completely, the internet's 25 years, 30 years, become completely norm. So I think if it's implemented, the National Theatre do it, right? It's very old school, but the National Theatre, when they've got a play on, they record it and they stream it to cinemas all around the UK.
Yeah.
And you pay £5 and you see Ian McKellen doing something on stage that in Bridport that you never, you wouldn't go to Bridport. Do you know what I mean? So I don't think that's
too far away.
No, I don't. But that raises another thing, which is around reassigning staff to be more customer facing and dealing with issues is great, but there'll come a time that all businesses will go, do you know what? We can cut our staff. AI is enabling us to cut our costs. I don't
think we've got too much of a choice. at the moment.
Yeah, yeah.
Costs that have come in, and then without being funny, it's costs, and then also HR.
Yeah.
The
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
the rights
Does
of the
AI need an
employee
HR manager?
the rights of the employee has gone so far through the roof that I don't think it'd be long before somebody comes in and shoots somebody that we have to go through an HR process.
Does AI need an HR?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, well, we could go off on a whole thread there about what's it means for individual dignity and individuals, and which I'm going to have a conversation with Zona in a couple of weeks where we're going to discuss that.
But won't people go off to do? It'll just be slightly retraining, isn't it? I mean, you only have to go back a little bit, and you've got the minors, etc., etc. And I know that wasn't good at the time. But they did go off and retrain in a number of places where they could, and wouldn't it be the same that we all change? I mean,
I'm not sure. I've got to be honest. I'm not sure. I think there's a real. I think, okay, put it this way: 4 or 5 years ago, youngsters were being told you've got to learn how to program.
Yeah, don't need it now.
Don't don't learn how to program. I think marketeers, have a.
When it becomes sort of prompt engineers and prompt, that's going to be growing. So people that that's their speciality, is to teach not to teach AI, but actually get a product into it and give the prompts to AI, etc., etc. So that marketplace will increase.
I think to an extent, but AI is prompting itself already.
That's dangerous.
Yeah. So you could go build me a website, and it will go, oh, this is Stephen's history on AI. I know he works in a holiday park. There you go. So you're not going to have to get. Anyway, I am definitely gambling off on those on a different direction. So again, back to we talked about the entertainment. We talked about the kind of reception, the kind of journey, the onboarding. What areas of that most interest you, like now in the next 12 months? That if you were to sit here, if we were going to sit down in 12 months' time, and I was to go, okay, what have you seen and practically implemented or practically thought is useful? Where do you think your
Mine's definitely on that guest experience and giving them the options.
Yeah.
So this is, and it potentially will reduce people, but you've got options at the moment to introduce sort of AI into the sales process. I think it could do. You've got Poly AI, which does a very good job on the phones. I think if that would work its way and develop as well, I think you could train it to actually do the sales and have all the answers for the sales that you require. Then that I think that balance in reception is needed. So that I would see coming in. So self check-in or even no check-in with a team in place to do the full check-in. And then when you get to the accommodation, it's a choice whether to have a concierge service or just using it, turning it off, etc., etc. I think all of those. And then the other side of it is the sort of like smarter accommodation with the energy usage, that type of thing, sustainability. I don't know, solar, battery storage. That coming in there. We've certainly looked at sort of battery storage and how that would operate for parts of the park.
And that's been magnified recently because of the gas prices, right? I can only imagine that's top of the agenda now, right?
Yeah, I mean, because of the way that works, if we've sort of we're signed in a little bit, but it will come along. It will come along, but it's trying to find out where we can do it, and then how does that affect the customer when they come in? Do they have to be like a scientist in order to turn their products on? That can't happen. It needs to work seamlessly for them. But I can see that's something we're looking at the moment. So those ones mainly, I think.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I can't see an Apple Voyage style.
It's a shame, but no, I'm the same. I don't think we're not there yet, but I think definitely with the guest experience and just giving them that choice of, do I want to check in with someone? Do I want to do it on my phone? Do I not want to speak to anyone? As you would in a supermarket. I think that's definitely something that can come in, and pretty soon. There's no reason why, you know, things do what they do now, that it can be implemented quickly. And I also think that, as we were saying, that you've already got it in your roadmap.
We've actually already got it, so I do need to get you guys on it actually, because we're self-checking
But
and
like the personalization on the app and the choice and things like that. Like I think that would definitely, or just stupid things like, you know, the weather is built into our app. You know, people can see what the weather is. It started raining. Okay, so let's give everyone with kids 3 ideas of what they can do with their kids when it's raining on park.
Agreed. Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
Little things like that would work.
Yeah, and can be done.
Can be done. Will be done.
It is, well, yeah. Well, because I'm not turning this into a sales thing, or kind of, I'm not giving all and your secrets away. We will stop the call in a minute and we'll talk about some stuff.
Isn't it a risk that guests feel over-tracked, though?
I agree.
Like, how far do you go with it when they're knowing what you're watching, how much energy you're using, where you're going, what facilities you go to, etc.? It's good for some of it, but I can see for some people it'd be a bit Big Brotherish.
So agency. One of the things I'm thinking of I've been chatting to a couple of the guys about it, is to give within our app, and you can do it on phones now, but whether within our app to just go pause for a minute, just kind of, I want to have some quality time with the family and the kids, just pause, and nothing, no notifications. We grade a screen out. It's just on pause for an hour or 2 hours when they're with the kids on the beach or something like that. Because I think that we should be doing that as a software business, right? And actually, if we said to you as a client, you can do that. You can let your guests do that. If I was a guest at your park, which I've been, I'd go, these guys like me, they trust me, they respect me. Do you know what I mean? They're not trying to keep pushing me stuff.
Well, also, I guess on that subject, what risk is there for your under 18s and stuff like that from having a concierge service that knows? I mean, you've already got governments at the moment stopping social media for that group. Yeah. How do you make sure that those people, I mean, you can do with virtual ID and stuff like this, so it can be stopped, but there's a risk there as well.
Well, one of the things, another thing, we talk about AI, but we're kind of really looking at on-device AI, because Apple and Google are really going to start, fundamentally, because if you take Apple and Google, they're both using the same AI model, but they own the devices, right? They're not competing against OpenAI or Claude, right? They've got the devices, they've got that, so they're doubling down on their AI structure on the phones. So straight away, and I don't know why they don't do it. Well, I do know why they don't do it. Apple know how old you are on your phone. They could block social media for every 16-year-old or under in the UK, like that. So that's the kind of technology and the kind of data we can tap into, and we could say, not quite like this, but does your mother know, or does your parents know you've downloaded this app?
Well, how many times you go onto there and you go into new banking now, you have to use the virtual reality not virtual reality, but the face ID, and you have to say, do an image and a video and talk to it. So it does pick up on your age and stuff. Yeah.
It's a very exciting area for us, because the big PMSs and the big F&B, those guys, they own that kind of central. We don't want to get anywhere near that. We're not an operational system, but when you've got the two of the biggest companies in the world who are pushing their own on-device stuff, we'd be stupid not to kind of make that our.
It's the devil's advocate, isn't it? Because we've just talked for ages, like, oh, you could do this, you could do that, and then all of a sudden it's hang on, there's a massive risk with this actually. Yeah. What if it gets it wrong? What if it does this? So actually, are we risking a bigger data breach?
Yeah, we are.
Thing like that, you know. So then you go, well, actually, is that worth the risk?
Yeah.
Even though that's the way the world's going, the danger gets higher the more you do.
Well, you're near enough track where somebody is on the park,
and that's the thing.
Because if you'll know that they're going swimming at 10 o'clock, if somebody could break into that and that didn't want to, that's a what risk that is.
Completely. And people will become more aware of it, which is why simple things to begin with, like an off switch, kill switch, just turn the phone off for X amount of time, or turn tracking off, or whatever, because there needs to be a different way of working with technology. It's so marketing led that we're struggling to catch up. Anyway, that's enough. I've bored you too long.
Go on tangents, but it's okay.
Never bored.
See, I told you we just ramble. I told you there was no scripting or anything. I will say thank you.
Now.
Yeah, I'll say thank you, and we can stop the recording, and then we can talk openly.